I'm so excited to talk with you today. Talk to you today. Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, congratulations on the release of the documentary. How do you
Thank you.
feel about it?
I feel great. I mean, it's very emotional because it's basically, the story of our whole career, right? 25 years. And when you start thinking about it, you're like, holy shit, like 25 years of my life I've dedicated to, this band and our fans and the music. It's wonderful, but it's also like it's a lot to take in. And I think it's really cool for the fans. I think it's going to be a cool thing. Have you seen it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, what'd you think?
Oh my gosh, I really love it.
Oh,
I
wow.
I'm
Okay.
so emotional. I'm start crying at the first 5 minutes of the band because I really love Simple Plan. It's one of my favorite bands, and I think that was the best way to say thank you to your fans, to say that's what we are, and
I'm a bit
thank you. Just
insecure about it. I'm a bit
yeah.
insecure about it, to be honest, because as you're saying, it's a big thank you, but it's also like, it's like showing, every vulnerable part of yourself. So it's stressful at times. I see this documentary, and I think it's going to be more than that because it's a gift to our fans. But since it's not like officially out yet, for us, it's sort of like a big mirror that you put in your face, and then you see all the flaws from way too close. So there's a bit of that right now. But I'm very happy too. Like, I love the fact that, we're showing the real dynamic between the band members. We're showing our families, we're showing like our failures, our successes. I think it's good. And and a lot of those documentaries are about glorifying bands. They're about showing like how big the band is and how amazing they are. I think we were conscious enough not to show just that. There's obviously a renaissance, things are going really well for the band, but we're also showing that it was hard and we
Yeah.
had some really shitty moments.
Yeah, I was honestly really moved. I totally related to that dream of starting a band with your friends and playing all over the world. You guys actually made it happen.
Crazy, right?
What was it like for you to go back through the band's whole story and share it with the world and uh, I don't know, revisiting all these things?
Again, it's hard to relate to like how it's going to be perceived, by the crowd watching it. It's really hard, like that whole like communication, how people will receive it. It's hard for me to put myself in those shoes. But for me, it made me really realize that I'm still in a band with my buddies from high school. And now, like, when you see those faces, when I see Pierre's face, Chuck's face, Seb as a kid, I'm like, these are still, like very sensitive and very vulnerable individuals. And we tend to forget that because, like we have a rough dynamic amongst ourselves, and they're get they're celebrities. They're like, people that have, the respect of their peers. So I tend to forget that they're sensitive. They need, I need to be kind to them. I need to be warm to them. I need to be, understanding. And I think it kind of reminded me of that, seeing our early, very humble beginnings.
And the beginnings at the basement of the of the basement Chuck parents, right?
But it's kind of crazy because it feels like yesterday.
Yeah.
It really does. It's so weird. Time has a weird way of, like getting memories in your brain. It's just so strange. For me, it feels like yesterday.
Oh my gosh! In the documentary, you tell us a really great story about the breakup of Reset when you asked Chuck and Pierre if they were ready to start a new band. Did you ever imagine that question would take you to this far?
I think you have to be like, people don't say this because they're afraid to sound like conceited or any like, or like just, have too big of an ego. But in a naive way, when you start a band, you dream of making it. Or else, like, why would you start it? You know, when you start any endeavor, if you want to be successful, I tell my kids always, I'm like, do you think that the Olympic runner who runs 100 meters and wins it starts the race thinking, I'm going to lose? He doesn't
No.
think that way. No, he's like, I'm gonna win. I'm gonna do this, you know? So I kind
Yeah.
of had that naive thing when we started the band. I was like, we're gonna be big. My comparison was like, we're gonna play Moscow like Metallica did. We're gonna do, Rock in Rio like Metallica and Guns N' Roses, and we're gonna play Mexico all over. It was, those dreams. And luckily, we still haven't done all these things yet. There are still a lot of things that we need to do.
Did you imagine being in a documentary with the bands you used to listen to when you were younger? I mean, The Offspring, Fat Man of No Effects. I mean, I was like, what? Did you imagine that?
Well, it's no, never, never, never. That part I never imagined, but I mean, those people are people that, we cross paths with, like I know these people pretty well. They're not friends, but they're people that we know that for instance, the Offspring guys, we've been touring with them like for years now. So, like Dexter took me on his plane and we had drinks together. Like he's someone from my world. It's kind of strange, but it's true. And but seeing Mark Hoppus sort of like really understand the dynamic of the band, he's a fine psychologist. It's crazy. So
Yeah.
someone from the outside could see that much about my band. That transparent. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
and the punk rock philosophy that says something like that's the vibe of punk rock. When you're on the top, you want to be with your friends, and so I start to help these guys to make it. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's the origin of I Do Anything.
Because you have to remember, Mark did not get paid to sing on "I Do Anything." He just did it because he wanted to help. He wanted to pull a band up. That's the real philosophy. Like that's the most punk rock thing you can do. You could wear the ripped jeans and the leather jackets, but helping your friends for no money, that's punk rock.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It was the best way to tell your story as a band. I think so. And
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here talking to you about this journey. So finally, I want to ask you, what's the first thing you will tell that teenager who studied music and convinced his friends to start a band, knowing that it will change his life completely?
You're making me emotional, man. um, I think no fear. Just go for it. Like we are so afraid when we start endeavors, when we start businesses, when we start anything, we're so afraid of failure that it takes a big portion of our lives, of our thinking, of our thoughts. And really, we should be thinking about having fun doing it, celebrating the not all the time, celebrating landmarks as they come. My band has not been very great at sort of like taking it in, celebrating those big moments that we've had. We were working and working and working and grinding. I think it's a and we were very insecure too the whole way. So I would tell my 17-year-old self, you know, you're dreaming big, go for it, no fear, things will be good. You've got this.
You're gonna make it. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for taking your time to talk today with me. I'm so
Thank you for
happy
doing
to
this.
be part of this release. Congratulations once again for the documentary. Hope to see you soon here in Mexico City. And one more time, thank you.
Thank you so very much, man. It means a lot. Take care.